one thing we decided when we started this podcast was we want to keep our identities hidden.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh.
Um, well, I think there's a couple of reasons for us, right, to keep it hidden. Because, again, okay, we mentioned that we are very introverted and we're actually very private people in our personal life, like, social media wise and whatnot. We don't really post much.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Uh, well, my reasoning for that is just because I'm quite lazy, and also I feel like who really cares much, like I don't really care much to like post as often as I
Mm-hmm.
should be about my personal life because I think it's like nobody's business, but it's also a second reason why that we kept our like identities like hidden here is because we wanted to have the freedom to speak out our minds without any judgment because we didn't want people we know in our personal life to actually know what we are going to talk about in these episodes because it does
Mm-hmm.
get quite personal. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we don't want to, I guess, offend people that we know if we do speak about them. you know yeah.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna talk about them sometime in the future. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, probably. Uh, yeah. Do you, like what about you? Do you think like you have a particular reason?
I think it's much of similar to what you described. But another thing is, I don't know. Yeah, we are a very private person, and even among social media, we are like the people that we follow and the people that follow us. It's it's usually largely monitored most of the time, I would say. Like we are quite skeptical about who to follow and who not to follow and who to allow as a
Yeah.
follower and those kind of things. And
Yeah.
I feel that being in a public platform like this is a very huge jump. And I think usually, I'm not sure if you feel that or not, but when you're anonymous, you feel much more comfortable to let your thoughts out, like what Sika said. But if
Mm-hmm.
I were to let my identity known, then it would feel, to be honest, like as much as I did not hope it to be like that, but I would still feel very uncomfortable letting my stories out, I would say. So,
Yeah.
yeah, the
Yeah,
good thing
I feel
about
the same. Mm-hmm.
that's why I like Reddit. 'Cause it's like so
Yeah,
anonymous. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, yeah. Because like I think we once we kind of expose our identities, it's like we we let people know, like there's an image that we uphold in our personal life.
Mm-hmm.
So like being anonymous gives us the chance to just not be ourselves. Like I
Mm-hmm.
mean we are ourselves, but we can be more open, like
Mm-hmm.
more ourselves than we can be like if we are in our personal life. Because um it's not that we don't have any people to confide in our thoughts or whatnot. It's just that we want to share our perspective because I
Mm-hmm.
think we have different perspective and experiences
Mm-hmm.
and backgrounds
Mm-hmm.
because we both are from quite even though we both kind of grew up in a quite uh
Yeah,
traditional
conservative.
Asian household, yeah,
Conservative.
quite conservative, yeah, but we personally are very like open-minded
Mm-hmm.
and we are quite different
Mm-hmm.
than our family, how our family
Mm-hmm.
knows us. So we we want to share this perspective so we can find people that have the same opinions as us, or like give a different opinion to other people, because we have different thoughts in our, the way that we study it as well. Like
Mhm.
the reason why we chose psychology is because we wanted a different perspective,
Mhm.
and I think that actually broadened our viewpoint in our life.
Mhm.
And we grew up in many different backgrounds. I feel like
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
went to you had many chances of, like, going to a foreign country to study, right?
Mhm.
But that also gave you a chance to meet a lot of people and gain a lot of
Mhm.
experience and perspective. Yeah. And for me, I grew up in a foreign country and I moved back to my home country, and that gave me a totally different perspective too, because I went from the country that I used to live in, was very very conservative and very very traditional. So I when I moved away to quote unquote my home country, is it gave me a different like mindset. Definitely, like I definitely noticed that I am an outsider in my own country. You know what
Mhm.
I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah, from that I think I have a different viewpoint from other people that I
Mhm.
am surrounded with. Yeah. So
Mhm. Definitely.
yeah. So that's why, like, we kind of like kept it quite we okay, we that's why we started this podcast specifically, I think.
Mhm.
um yeah.
Yeah. We
What
just
now?
want to keep it simple. Yeah. And not involve
Mm.
anyone and make it a safe space, I would say.